Hey, come on in. If you're new here, I'm Marissa, and I'm just about ready to get some dinner started for today. It's about the middle of the day right now, and I want to get this going because it doesn't have a super long cook time, but it needs a few hours to really get going. So let me show you what we're making today. We're going to be doing a chicken soup for dinner and have a handful of things that I want to add to it, and I'm just going to show you how I throw this together. So I've got my whole chicken here. This is actually one that we raised. We've been doing this for a number of years and we really like it. And I always when I'm like, and we grew the chicken ourselves, and I'm always like, I don't want to make people feel overwhelmed, but rather instead I want to look at it like we're very busy, and this is just something that we like to do. And so if you are in a position where you want to start raising some of your own meat chickens is a really great place to get started. I even know people who do it in town. If you have a smaller number of them and a big enough grassy backyard, you can absolutely raise some meat chickens in your backyard. You can borrow processing equipment. You can have somebody process them for you. There's so many ways to do it. So I say, we raised this chicken not to be like, whoa, now I'm stressed. Here's one more thing I got to do. No, you don't have to do that. If you don't want to or you can't do it right now, that's totally fine. We're all about no stress, right? Around here. No stress, peace in the kitchen is what we're all about. Like I said, I'm just bringing it up because if you do have this dream to raise some of your own meat chickens are a really great way to get started with that. So it's not completely thawed, as you can see. I'm not always great at remembering to take things out of the freezer, but that's totally fine. It still works out. We have such a problem with flies right now. It's the changing of the seasons. They know winter's coming, fall's coming, winter's coming, and they're just crazy to be in the house, and it's driving me crazy because I think it's disgusting, but yeah. So let me grab a couple things. So I have my onion. Let me get a couple other vegetables. And then as I'm working on my vegetables, I'm going to go ahead and start. See, people are always putting things away in all kinds of different places, and just makes it really hard to find what you need sometimes. Here it is. Oh, it was in the right place. It was me this time. Okay, so I'm going to start by putting water in here because I want to start getting that to come up to a simmer while I'm working on my vegetables. All right, so I have my spring water here, and I'm just going to add that. And then I'm going to start. I'm also very good at filling things way too full. So I'm going to try to restrain myself here, but I'm just going to do that much, and then I can add some more if it looks like there's room. But also I'm going to go ahead and get my salt and pepper in here. So what I'm doing to build this meal is something that you've seen me do. If you've been on my channel for a while, you've seen me do this many, many times, and that is using just like a template or framework. And when you know this secret method, you can build an endless variety of nourishing meals that are quick and easy. They are so supportive of gut wellness. So what that secret formula looks like is, first of all, you start with your meat. If you want those gut wellness benefits, you use what's called a meaty bone. So this can be anything that's raw with meat on it, that's got a bone in it, preferably a joint if possible. It can be a whole chicken like we've got here. It can be pieces of chicken that have bones and joints in them, like thighs, wings, necks, backs, drumsticks, that kind of thing. It can be other types of beef, lamb. I'm not going to bore you with the whole list, but I think you start to get the idea. So you start with your meat, and then you decide what flavor profile do you want this dish to have, and you can think about different ethnic flavor profiles or maybe herbs that you have on hand, vegetables that you have that you need to use up or that are in season and available around you. You basically just build, and there's so many options. So that's what you do. You meat first, meaty bones, and then I should have done one finger. Meaty bones, number one. And then you choose your flavor profile and then the herbs, spices, and vegetables that you want to go with that. And then from there, depending on what your needs are, if you are doing a gut wellness protocol like the GAPS diet and you need to stay away from things like breads, potatoes, pasta, and things like that, then you just leave those out and you can add your fermented foods, your egg yolks, extra animal fat, whatever you need to in that protocol. But if you're not doing that and you just want to be supporting gut wellness ongoing all the time, which is how we eat, then you can add other things like rice, maybe sourdough bread along the side with lots of butter on it, maybe potatoes, maybe some pasta now and then, something like that. So that's the secret framework, the secret formula for how I make meals, and it's so great because it's so easy. You're not spending much time in the kitchen. It basically makes itself. You've got all your elements here. You've got your meat stock, meat, vegetables, so many fun flavor profiles that you can use, and then you can add to that easily whatever else you want, your fermented foods, other starches, whatever. So enough talking, let's add our things here. I mean, I am going to keep talking, but I also need to get to work. So I've got my whole chicken in there, spring water. It can be filtered water too if that's what you have. We don't want to be using tap water. That's, yeah. Tap water has, unless you're in a place that doesn't add chlorine and doesn't add fluoride, which I don't know how many places there are like that, and it's good quality, then you're okay, but most places add things that, hold on. I'm talking too much and forgetting what I'm doing. Okay, I'm gonna rinse this off. Whew, the onions are getting to my eyes. Okay, so we are just going to chop these up. Depending on the type of dish, sometimes I'll leave them just in half like that, but for this one, this is going to be an actual chicken soup type of a dish, so I do want the onions cut smaller. If it's like a slow cooked casserole that's going for a long time, like with a type of meat that needs a longer cook time, like beef or lamb or something like that, then I'll oftentimes leave them bigger. But since this is a soup, we want them small. This onion is getting to me. Woo-wee, glad we're done. Okay, and then I'm also adding some celery. I've got a bad piece here. We'll cut off the very ends. If you're new here, I have my own personal gut wellness journey that I've been through and my success story with that, things that I've been able to do, overcame a bunch of chronic health issues doing that. And so then I went on to become a certified GAPS coach, which is, if you're not sure what GAPS is, it's just a really, really good gut wellness protocol. So I'm basically a gut wellness coach. So that's my passion, is helping people, especially fellow busy moms, but you don't have to be a busy mom to learn. That's just what I know, because that's what I am, and so I love helping fellow busy moms. But that's my passion, is all the stuff that I went through and learned. I love bringing that to others so that they can experience it too, because to say it's life-changing feels like an understatement. Absolutely life-changing. Impacts everything. My kids, their future, everything. So and if you're in a place where you do want help with planning meals and things like that, I have done for you meal plans. I have a few different versions, and they're linked down in the description if you're interested. I have two actually that really focus on very specifically targeting gut wellness. And then I have another one that's more of just general nourishing. It also supports wellness really well too, but it does include things like sourdough and potatoes and stuff, whereas the other ones don't, just depending on what people's needs are. See, I've got a cat meowing very loudly. I just really want to make sure that he doesn't wake the baby up, because I've got a baby taking a nap, and nap time is when I get a lot done. So have him go outside and not be meowing in here loudly. But where was I? Okay, now we're starting to simmer. All right, so then at this point, we're going to go ahead and turn our heat down. We want it to be at a simmer. And I should have waited to add the celery before I did this step, and the onions really, to just skim off any scum that rises to the top. It helps. So the scum is supposed to be the bones cleaning themselves when you see that. And so it's nice to remove that. If you don't, it's not the end of the world, but when I see it, I do like to try to not lose my onions, but I might take those back out. Okay, so now that's calming down nicely. We're still peeling our carrots here. And where was I? Oh yeah, okay, so meal plans. And then I also have other things that I've made to help with gut wellness. I have a program called Nourishing Stepping Stones, and that is a really specific one that I created for a big need that I see a lot of, and that is when people or families are dealing with, they know that they need to start a gut wellness protocol and they need to start addressing gut wellness very intentionally, but just changing how they're eating 100% is just not something that can be done right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm going to grab one more. And this could be because changing the way that they're eating just cold turkey overnight is just way too difficult from a logistical standpoint. Like maybe learning new recipes and cooking techniques and buying different groceries than they're used to is just very overwhelming and feels like way too much. Or it could be another situation that I see more and more lately is when people who know that they need to start a gut wellness protocol, they want to do it, but it's too much to change their way of eating cold turkey because it's too much of a change for the body. So we'll get things that we call die-off reactions or detox reactions or things like that when the body is just like, whoa, this was way too much change all at once. And you can start feeling really gross when that's the case. And so for both of those situations, the best way is to do a really, really gentle, easy transition. And so I created that mini program, Nourishing Stepping Stones, to do just that. So it takes you from however you eat right now into a really, really gentle, doable transition where you don't even take anything out. You really just keep eating everything that you're already eating, and all you do is focus on adding one new thing at a time. And it slowly, gently builds a few really key new things in, and then after you've reached that point, you start leaving off some things that you need to take a break from for a while to focus on gut wellness, and then it takes you at the very end into an actual gut wellness protocol. So it's a 3-month mini program, and it's got meal plans and shopping lists, resources. It's also got a guidebook that I wrote with all of the just little bite-sized steps, and then really key solutions to those things that come up, obstacles that come up when you're doing a transition like that. So it's really helpful also if there's an issue with picky eating. I do have another program called Picky Eating Blueprint, and that is really targeted to kind of overcome picky eating quickly in 3 weeks or less. But some people don't want to do that type of an approach. They want something more gradual. And so Nourishing Stepping Stones is a really great mini program for picky eating too, because very gentle and gradual and contains all the stuff that you need to help get through that transition easily. So all those are going to be linked down in the description if you're interested in any of them. I'm also really happy to chat if you have questions about any of them, or you're not sure what would be the best help for you in your situation. You can email me, or you can chat on Instagram as well, and I'm happy to talk about where you're at, your situation, and what would be the best next step for you depending on what your goals are and needs. So we're just continuing to chop everything up and add it. So at this point we have the salt and pepper. This is just really a really basic chicken soup with just the salt and pepper, onions, celery, and carrots. I think I'm also going to add some garlic too. So you can do garlic now and have it in there during the cook time, which is what I'm going to do just so I don't forget to add it later. But if you want more powerful properties of garlic, you can also add the garlic at the end. You can press garlic cloves right in, and that can be really tasty. And then you get super powerful garlic properties too. So that can be really nice. But earlier when I was talking about my magic formula for quick and easy nourishing meals that also support gut wellness, the other thing is you can choose a variety of different ways to cook it. So cook time is going to depend on what type of meat you're doing, meaty bones. And so for poultry, 1.5 to 3 hours is usually good. For bigger, heartier, homegrown chickens like we have, I'll always do 3 hours. 1.5 hours or 2 is not long enough for these. But if it's a small grocery store chicken, then 1.5 to 2 hours might be enough. Definitely don't want to go past 3 hours though. And then for other cuts of meat like beef, pork, lamb, game, anything like that, then 4 to 6 hours is good. And then you can do it in a Dutch oven on the stove or a pot like I'm doing here. You can do it in the oven, in a Dutch oven, inside your oven, and bake it. Usually around 300 degrees Fahrenheit is good for that. Or you could do it in a crock pot, turn it on high. Once it has reached a simmer, then you can start your cook time. Just a lot of ways to do it. You really just need to know your cook time for your type of meat, and then choose which of those methods works for you and your temperature. I usually do a crock pot on high or around 300 degrees Fahrenheit in the oven, or bring to a boil and then let simmer on the stove top. So hopefully you can take that secret formula and run with it and really enjoy using it. I know it makes life so much easier because you're hitting all those boxes at once, with it being nourishing, high quality, supporting gut wellness, and it's quick and easy. Shouldn't have put the lid on quite yet. I was going to add those fresh pressed garlic cloves real quick, like I was saying. I really like this garlic press because you can just put them in there without peeling them first, and then it just presses them right out. Because I don't like tedious tasks like sitting there and peeling cloves of garlic. So I like something like that that makes it really fast and easy. All right, and then I'm just going to make sure that this is at a nice simmer. You want the liquid bubbling like below the surface, not like a rolling boil or anything like that, but just bubbling below the surface. So before I kind of just leave it and forget about it, I'm going to just check and make sure that temperature is just right. And maybe I'll just show you what it looks like when it's looking really good. Oh, and I did have the rest of my water that I could add too. Looks like I do have room for that, so I'll go ahead and add the rest. And we were successful. We did not overflow this time, as I have done many times before. But, oh, I just added the water, so you can still see it. So you see how it's moving, but it's not like a rolling boil. That that looks really good. So then I'll probably check on it again once or twice before I just set it and forget it, just to make sure that it's at that really good ideal level of simmering. And then I'm gonna come back and show you what I'm gonna do with it next. Hey, welcome back. So we are ready to check on this and see how it's looking. It's smelling really good. Oh yeah, that looks wonderful. It smells amazing. So at this point, we are really ready to either enjoy it as it is, or there's other things that you can do. You can, if you're like us and you've completed years of really targeted gut wellness, eating a gut wellness protocol, and you've come through that and you're now eating a wide variety of things, and you can do a variety of things with this. You can add rice to it, you can add pasta to it, you can have it with sourdough bread on the side. If you are needing to stick to a gut wellness protocol and you haven't introduced those things, then no worries. You just have other things. You wouldn't do the starches and the things made with flour or anything like that. You'll have the things that we will have too, even though we've accomplished the gut wellness protocol and come off. We will have our sauerkraut, add some sauerkraut in here. You can add egg yolks if you're doing that. We at this point usually have our egg yolks in other things like ice cream, Russian custard, eggnog, things like that. But if you're on those early stages of eating for gut wellness, then you'll be having egg yolks in your soup. So anyway, this is it dished up as it is right now. Looks really good, smells really good. It's going to be really nice on a chilly day like today. So I hope that you enjoyed coming along, watching me make this. I hope that it gave you lots of inspiration for how eating these nutrient-dense, nourishing meals does not have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be bland or boring. It can be delicious with so much variety and quick and easy. So I hope you enjoyed that. Check out those things that I mentioned earlier, my meal plans and different gut wellness programs that I have down in the description. Lots of ways I can help you down there. I have free ebooks. I also have a free class on gut wellness that I think you're going to love. There is a ton of information packed in there. It's a very new class that I just released and I'm really excited about it. So I hope that you'll sign up and join me there. But thank you so much for being with me today, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And if you like these kind of videos, watch for new ones. I'm putting out new videos all the time, several videos a week. So thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.